Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, friends. Hello, my friends. My name is Muhammad Udin. You can call me Udin. I'm from Semarang. I will tell you about my experience, my most pleasant experience, which can be entered into the State University of Semarang. Okay, let's go. I entered the Semarang State University through the SNMPTN with a report score. Why I chose UNNES? Because, in my opinion, UNNES is the right college. Besides being close, it's also a comfortable place. Initially, I want to understand, like most people who want to get an official school, because after graduation, directly from work. But my parents didn't agree that I went to schools outside the city because of the expensive cost of living. He thought. I tried to convince them, but my mother still disagreed. Finally, I followed them because the blessing of the parent are very important. I'm self-aware if my parent life just barely. Therefore, I used the opportunity to find scholarship in UNNES. I'm grateful for getting a PDMC scholarship, so parents don't feel burdened if I go to college. After solidifying my heart, I took the UNNES Clinical Education and Mathematical Education. I chose two universities. The first is Semarang State University and the second is Diponegoro University. Every day I'm going in and out of the guidance counseling room, I get info. First of exciting data, mathematics education in Semarang State University has high competitiveness. But I will still optimistic that I can enter because of my persistence so far. After a long talk, finally the announcement day arrived, and I was accepted at Semarang State University as a recipient of PDMC and grateful to be accepted in my first choice is mathematics education. I honestly cried, not expecting it. And something surprised me. Some of my high school friends we are accepted at UNNES with a biology education study program. I'm happy to hear it. Okay guys, it is my experience. Thanks. Bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Now I will tell you about the memorable story. Tuesday, April 17, 2018 was one of the most memorable moments for me. That day, I waited for the to spin quickly morning until noon. My eyes never changed. Anxiety and worry enter my soul and mind. Waiting for an announcement concerning the future. In the afternoon, there was a friend of mine who invited to by the beach for a moment to forget about what would happen at 5 p.m. later. I enjoy the beach scenery while exhaling and removing all the burdens that are on my mind. Arriving at home when it's up at a quarter to 5 p.m. and another 15 minutes make me panic and nervous. result of the announcement of the national selection to enter state university. I opened the announcement website around 5:30. When I start to open the website, I felt scared and there was an error that made me panic. I entered the wrong username and password. After that, I repeat again from the beginning and open the announcement website. As a result, I showed and hugged my mother. I told my mother that I was accepted in Semarang State University, a mathematics education study program. I cried with my mother. I did not expect that I would qualify for the national selection to enter state university. Like this, with my friend earlier, he also passed the selection, but he took a mathematics study program. While I was in mathematics education study program, and he was also accepted at the same university as me, namely Semarang State University. And maybe the day is a very historic day and depicts a beautiful story in my life. A day where I can make my parents cry because they are happy. The day start to set my life goals, and the day I began to change my attitude from being childish to more mature. That's all I can say. Might be beneficial to us all. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dwi Juniasuti. I am a student in mathematics education in 2018. I was born on June 6, 2000. My hobby is reading and listen to music. My dream is to be a successful person. I will share the experience of my organization during senior high school. Organization, I am a file of national with has many work program for students to be community. When I first organization, I was shy. I call not account from the math then we give to me. I don't work alone, my man. So there are two people who become members and become secrets. I become a security in my fight. There was a moment where I had to walk on the personal until the night before and when in the submit to the festival. There was a bird that was carried out and had to be respected, and a country must be information on a activity, and I was real tried at the time. but I tried to make it a cat, and finally the proposal was made, and the program in my organization work program was cried out. The name of the activity is Happy Camp. They're all members of the Paskibra in Regional 1. At night, we want to hold a campfire. However, at the time there was a free ride. Will come on it head. So with the community and participants must involve to a point train. But there was the train docked by water. We had to move the participants there to the plants. And that's still a lot we have to do. Finally, from the next district, we want a blade to contain our program from swinging games to marching round and many more of our activity. Until finally, the community and I were saving with our hard work. Thank you for attention. Sorry if where are my words. Thank God you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Halo guys, assalamualaikum teman-teman. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fiska Amalia. I will tell you about my experience, my most pleasant experience, which can be entered into the State University of Semarang. Okay, let's go. I entered the Semarang State University through the SNMPTN pathway with a report score. Initially, my parents did not agree that I want to college outside the city because of the expensive cost of living, he thought. But after I tried to explain, if in Semarang the cost of living is not too expensive, which is still affordable compared to Jakarta or Bandung, I assured my parents that there were scholarships for the least fortunate, namely bidik misi. Finally, my parents agreed, but with the terms, if I was accepted at this UNNES, but did not get bidik misi, no need to be taken just studying in Cirebon. He said, there I feel to see mystery. What if I'm not accepted the UNNES? After solidifying my heart, I took the UNNES chemical education and mathematics education. I only chose one university. Every day, going in and out of the guidance counseling room, I get info. If last year there were those who registered for chemistry education and not taken, there I was dumb, confused, that I should take the study program especially, because honestly, I myself want to be a teacher. After a long time, I reluctantly moved my study program, namely mathematics education, and pure chemistry. Months waiting, and finally the announcement they arrived. And I was served at Semarang State University. Oh my God, as a recipient of Pendidikan. I honestly cried, not expecting it, because my friend was also the same choice as me, but here was not served here. Here was instead served at the Indonesian University of Education. Something sparked me. Some of my high school friends were served at UNNES with the chemistry education. Hello guys. Nyesel? Enggak, not. Mathematics does not have a lab report. No, no. Okay guys. It is my experience. Thank you and bye. See you again. I love you so much. Bye bye.
Hi, my name is Pamelasari. I will tell you about my embarrassing experience. This embarrassing incident happened when I was in junior high school. At that time, I was in sport lesson. I did activities as instructed by my teacher. After that lesson, of course, I had to change my sport clothes. When I arrived in the bathroom, I saw all the place full and many students were already in line. As expected, that there is one place that if filled by someone and he doesn't come out. Reflexively, I banged on the door loudly and shouted at the person inside. Soon the door opened. It turned out that my teacher was inside. Because I embarrassed and scared, I finally ran to find another bedroom. That was the shameful experience that I remember until now. Thanks for your listening to my story. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Early, I want to introduce myself. My name is Wahidat Muhammidah. You can call me Ida. I'm from Mathematics Education of Semarang University State. Now I will tell you about something. I always remember this story because this happened of my grandmother's death. This story was very sad and really made me hit by losing a grandmother who always made me happy, loved me, and she was very meaningful in my life. Precisely on 14 March 2014, she breathed her last breath. I never imagined or thought this would happen. I was so devastated and so sad. A week before her death, she was treated in hospital because of acute on severe illness. But I'm sorry, I cannot mention what the disease is. In my opinion, is my privacy. At the time of treatment, her condition had improved and could be told. But 2 days before her death, his continued was down and could only lie weak. On the last day, she was in a coma. The doctor told to my family to be patient and just pray to Allah that still give healthy to my grandmother. Besides that, all the family can only surrender. If indeed Allah want to take her, we must give up her death. And in the end, the doctor said that my grandfather had died. At the time, I was not in the hospital, but I was at home. I was told by my mother by phone that my grandmother had died. Really, that the worst, sad, most painful news I have ever heard at the time. Feeling very guilty because on the last day I was not there, not accompany her. My tears continued to flow, not yet willing to die my grandma. But my mother advised me not to cry, to give up. My mother said if we are not sincere, then the grandmother's spirit will not come down there. We as humans who are still given the opportunity to live in the world know to break their prayer for those who have died. They do not need crying but sincere and continuous prayer. So that Tom. Okay friend, that's my sad story. Thank you for your attention, and I'm sorry because if I make many mistakes, and thank you. See you again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to tell you about the most memorable story in the past. A Monologue, especially the 7th of April 2018, is beautiful moment. Why? Because my dream is released. Since I was senior high school, I have a dream. Get in state university is easy way. I don't like with the task of pay for get in state university. So I study 3 years and my struggle not good process. Many problem in the struggle. Full and get out is done already. The first problem is my report there are scratch, which is the scratch in value. Actually, as an MPTN shouldn't the scratch. I'm so sad because didn't help. My classroom guardian not responsible with he do. I'm very angry. The second problem is my value in rapport not always upgrade. Sometimes down, sometimes up, sometimes permanent. Actually, as an MPTN, not like that. The third problem is guidance teachers think value of SNMPTN don't count, especially from 8 become 7. She is said repeat. I'm just clean up. I'm very sad because my value, chemistry value, down from 84 become 79. But just mathematics never down. The fourth problem is I am never get Olympic certificate. Actually, the people have it 10 plus point in SNMPTN selection. I just only many certificate about event, contest, but contest is not winner. And that certificate didn't use for SNMPTN. The fifth problem is I have incident until I never forget. When I was junior high school, I courses for national exam with expensive fee. Hopefully, I get favorite senior high school and I get the best value national exam. The fact I didn't get it. When I taught in senior high school, I don't want to courses everywhere. So, I have responsibility to my parents. Alhamdulillah, I get a third rank for 496 students in my school. This means that I can sign up as an MPTN. Before that, I get opportunity for consultation with someone who is already believed by headmaster. I'm not only registration in SNMPTN, but I follow all registration, such as Bogor Agricultural Institute, Lampung State Polytechnic, Jakarta Health Polytechnic, Astra Scholarship, and STIS. In Astra Scholarship, I failed in 2 stages, and in Jakarta Polytechnic Health, I failed too. STIS failed too. After finalization as an MPTN, I forget it. Then, focus national exam. I am confident with my option. I print as an MPTN card, then I page in wall beside cupboard. Really, as an MPTN result can be opened when all of students of 4 senior high school was prom night in Yogyakarta. I am promised I wouldn't open announcement. The first experience, I was open the result of Jakarta Health Polytechnic in the way to Yogyakarta. My field is stopped with the result. At 10 o'clock, I was open and the result is failed. I'm shocked and my mother always support me. The 2 days in Yogyakarta, we will trip to Gajah Mada University and Borobudur Temple. I walked up the Borobudur Temple. When I arrived in the top, my teacher spoke, "We must get down because we will prom night." It's so diabolical. I didn't take a picture in the top. I forgot the thing is as an MPTN announcement. When I arrived in bus, here my friends was open the result of SNMPTN and get PTN. Different with me, my feel still tired after walk to the top Borobudur Temple. Suddenly, I feel cold. My teacher said to me, "Why you quiet? Sick?" And I answer, "Not. I feel good." My feeling mixed. I think the result, and I didn't want to disappoint my parents. Suddenly, I am through breath stuffy and cried, and I used small oxygen tube, which is didn't evac. Finally, I used big oxygen tube in my nose. After a few long, my friends opened handphone. Finally, my teacher was open the result of SNMPTN for all students. And I get Semarang State University. When I hear information, I feel good. Didn't breathe stuffy. I didn't cry. Hugs my friend. My favorite teacher hugs me. But I didn't give information to my parents. Finally, my mother called me and I request to my mother for open the result. My parents proud of me. When my headmaster in front ballroom said, "Congratulations for our," and my feel is very happy because I will continue like this my headmaster, who is mathematics teacher. This moment is my dreams. After a few days, get the result as an MPTN, I get post, which is the content is I am passed in Bogor Agricultural Institute. I'm very happy, but I am cancelled because I has been get as an MPTN in Semarang State University. For the first time, I went to Semarang with my father. I'm very happy. Then I am around Semarang State University. This is a dream, but it is really. I was verified in auditorium, and there are cheat which is readable with my name, Elin Rahmawati. After verification, I am returned with train. That day, the result Lampung State Polytechnic can be opened, and I passed it. Finally, I get 2 PTN and 1 Polytechnic. I am very happy. This is the most memorable. That moment as magazine is killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and no pain, no gain. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I here for tell about my story. I have no plans to go anywhere during holiday after the national exam, so I choose to relax at home. At home, I play my favorite video games, PES 2016. I feel very happy because I can play games all day long during the holidays. Of course, if I go to school, I can only play on Sundays. I think playing ball games against computer is challenging, but it feels more exciting when I playing with friends. So I decided to invite 2 of my neighbors who were house playmates to go home. The 2 friends I invited were Tommy and Warsaw. They are my age, so we are on holiday. But all 3 of you come from different schools. For business playing ball games, we are balanced. We have defeat and defeat each other. In the end, the 3 of you are the best player in the village. Not infrequently, children from other villages are trying to compete with us. It is no coincidence that we are good at playing these ball games, because we have played since elementary school, both in our rental and home. Today, this match is me against Tommy. I choose the Bayern Munchen club, while Tommy used Real Madrid. The game was very exciting. Both Tommy and I both had many opportunities. Unfortunately, until the first half ended, there were no goals. We got great. The second half, we also balanced. When the second half was almost gone, my defender made a mistake in pass, so that ball landed on the opponent's foot, precisely at the foot on Ronaldo.
Tommy did not waste the opportunity. Ronaldo quick broke down to the penalty box. My defender is unable to catch Ronaldo. Finally, Tommy takes it to place the ball to the near pole. The result was a goal. Tommy shouted happily, celebrating the goal. Will regretted being not careful in giving feedback. Until the final whistle sounded, I was unable to equalize. In the first match, I lost 1-0. The direct games continued to the second match between Tommy and Warsaw. While waiting for them to play, I read my favorite soccer manga, Giant Killing. When I waited for my turn to play, it felt so long, very different when I was playing. The times fell so fast. After waiting for I will. Finally, the second match ended 3-1 for Warsaw victory. As before, the match continued. This time I picked Warsaw. Warsaw still use his flagship team, Barcelona, whereas I picked another team, Chelsea. In this match, I was lucky because Messi and Neymar were in a poor mental state, blew around. While my players were in the better mental state. Even Hazard and Costa were in the best condition right around. I was so dominating the match, so Warsaw survived more. After experiencing attack almost half the first half, finally Warsaw could cover and penetrate. In the second half, I managed to add 3 more goals, while Warsaw repaired to 1 goal, so that the final score became 4-1 for my victory. The fourth match immediately rolled between me and Tommy. I decided to keep using Chelsea because I didn't want to lose momentum when Tommy used Manchester City. My match was close with Tommy, but I managed to win narrowly with a score of 3-2. Until the afternoon, we continued to play in turn and ended until before sunset. For today, the most wins are me with 8 wins, followed by Warsaw with 7 wins, and lastly Tommy with 6 wins. Why can I remember? Because it is customary for the 3 of you to record the result of the match every time we play together. This is the thrill of playing ball games with friends. Even though they win or lose, but it still feels good. Besides, there is always a joke that comes out while playing. Countless times or long all day, feeling a factory by playing with friends is fun. Thank you for attention and watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, still with me, Ismail. Not Ismail bin Mail, but Ismail Saputra. This time, I will tell you a moment that I have experienced. At that time, where the day was like being happy with makes sadness, like water mixed with oil. Why? Why? Because to start something that can make me independent, there is an expected obstacle to me. I have the desire to simplify my life for collect from my parents. I'm from a modest group of people have collect expectation to uphold the dignity of the family. That is the hope of my parent, and I hold his message because of the blessing of these noble parents. But it become a trial for me. That is with the beginning I didn't get a customer at all. With the income of 0 rupiah. I spent time for that day too. Along with that, when praying in the mosque, I lost my handphone. My handphone lost. Not only that, at that time, there were words of people who entered the heart. After returning from that, I was in the rain until evening. In the middle of the night, I just come home, and it was hard to forget that everything was in my mind. Maybe it will all be my memory in my life. So that I can accept each letter and I can keep on living with a line of what God give. But with my chest stretched, I accept it because even though God certainly planned the best for me. Therefore, I can take the meaning. That's to live a happiness. Start with distress. Because it's very difficult for just it will be easy to accept happiness later. And on the other hand, happily, the first time we get the difficulties that occur are not easy for us to receive later. Experience is expensive. As smart as people, if experience is not enough to become the midpoint. That's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hi, the most memorable moment for me was when I won second place in the district level dance FLS2N competition. I pride for myself I can be a champion. All, all my efforts to do with friends can produce a result even though the champions is a two. But I'm still grateful and I will continue to develop my talent dancing. Because when I got into the high there was a problems because I had a stomach ache, but I tried my best to perform the dance in my 1 month before.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys. Introduce myself. My name is Jana Mandani. You can call me Jihan. I was student at Semarang State University. I took mathematics education study program. I am 18 years old. I come from Projo, Central Java. Okay, here I will share a little of my experience, arguably a sad experience that until now I have not been able to forget it and remember that even all of them remember very well without something being forgot. This is the story of the beginning of my struggle to get a campus. Everything started with the first semester. I was in the third grade of high school. I was struggling to enter the campus through the SBMPTN. At the time, I began following the SBMPTN tryout held by various institutions. I tried hard to follow the tryout, both held outside the city, such as Yogyakarta and Solo, are held in Purworejo itself. I always follow it almost every weekend. I am not at home. I always go out of town to take part in the tryout. It all happened around until January 2018, and at the end of the month, my father suddenly told me to enter stand, and I always obeyed my parents from the beginning. I obeyed, and since then I completely forgot the name SPMPTN. I focused on the dreams of my parents who really want me to enter the stand. Since then, I only followed the tryout about the selection to enter stand. I bought 4 cans of reading books at the booth at that time, and because of that, I'm very sure I can go there and realize my parent dream. And at the time of opening the registration, as much as possible, I asked my parents whether I should register from SPMPTN or not. Because of my initial intention to just register from stand or walk, but my parents told me to register for the SPMPTN too. And finally, I signed up and I chose one of the colleges in this university. And when I was going to take this SBMPTN test, I did not study at all because I didn't intend to enter university. I studied the both tests, and at the time of the SBMPTN test I was escorted by my brother, and that was before without a place survey first. And even during the test I did as best I could. I feel there are still many empty ones, and I feel normal. I think that if I don't accept it already. And during the boat test, I went with my friend and stayed at a hotel. I feel I can do it. And at the time of the test, there are five stage. Stage 1 to 4 can pass, and when they reach stage 5, fail, and that was very disappointing. I arrived at the hotel immediately crying and felt like a failure. I dare not go home because I am afraid to disappoint my parents because hear the news of my failure. And finally, I go home. And after telling their parents, they said nothing. Maybe not yet fortune. And at that time, I felt very guilty for not being able to. And at the time, I felt very guilty for not being able to realize their dreams. And at the time of the announcements SPMPTN, I was accepted at the UNNES, and that makes my parents happy. I'm happy because of that, something I didn't even fight for I got. Okay, so many stories from me. Sorry if there is an error. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For I got. Okay, so many stories from me. Sorry if there is an error. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Come back with me, Muhammad Bagus Al-Basyari from the Mathematics Education Study Program, Complex 2 University State Semarang. Here I will share my experience that is very valuable to me. This is an experience that will not be forgotten for me, and also a valuable experience for me. Whether it is a fun or sad experience, because here I get a lot of valuable experience for my life. The beginning of my story was one of thousands of students who experienced failure in a struggle to continue my studies at the higher level, namely the university. It can be concluded that I have failed to reach my goals, but no so on. Yes, I failed at the SBMPTN, and I am not allowed to join UM. Here I have to fill my vacant time of approximately 1 year. Alhamdulillah, I was trusted by my school to train the paskibra in my school first. Finally, I was brave and determined to train the paskibra. At first, I thought that I was beside to carry out this big responsibility. Could I upload this good name paskibra? At first I hesitated and I wicked it. Finally I rounded my mind to dare to try my paskibra. Day after day I passed. I went through process after process, and finally we arrived at an event, namely the UN level competition. And and there I and my troops parties as hurt and exceed your limits. It's true that I worked hard there. How we saw the best and give the best offerings to the school. We have gone through all at process and the rest day of arrived. I am the youngest coach there. I feel uncertain about the result of what we will receive. A pleasure or even a cry. Ignore those feeling. The most important this is thing is I have to be confident in front of my students. And the academic arrived when the announcement arrived. There I was very surprised and unexpected that my team won first place. The power really did not express. Someone as small as I could train the troops to become first place. And not only finished there, I was also faced with one more competition event, namely the Regency level TUB competition. And the first winner will be met representative of the district to process to residence level. It is truly an experience that I will not forget for the rest of my life, because that is where I learned how to coordinate a time with quite a lot of members, and there I can also sharpen my mentally so that I can speak in public, and there I am talk about patience and also about a process where the result will not betray the process. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello guys, my name is M.Hum. M.Hum Pertana Setiawan. Currently a student in Semarang State University. This time I will tell you about my past experience. This experience occurred when I was 3 years old. Around 3 years old. On Sunday, I was invited to shop at one of the shopping center in Pekalongan City. In the morning, we left the house and arrived at shopping center afternoon because we used the bus. After arrived there, we look for food first because our energy is drained on a long journey. After all of the food and drink at the table are used up, we continue to to shop according to our purpose of living home. My parents work in sort of initiatives with me carried by my mother. At the time, we asked to go down in a highway where the toys were, but I just saw them. Then we proceeded to look for item, but this time I walked by myself and my hand held by my mother. When he took the item, he removed my hand from the trail because I was still curious about the task I had seen and returned to the task hell to see it again. I was in the hall for quite a long time until my parents were out of sight. There was a man who carried me. Maybe because he saw me being confused. He took me up on one floor from my previous place. Then enter a room where there were already people. After a long wait inside, then my parents arrived. I was handed over to my parents. Then we go home because the day really starts at dusk. On the way, my mother told me that she panicked after finding out I was not with her. He also circled the shopping center to look for me. He found me. Yes, he found me. Then she heard the announcement and go to announcement room. Maybe from my experience that message. Yeah. We must keep something we have. We must not lose our focus to look after it. Maybe my mother just lost a little focus to keep me. Luckily, I was found by a good man. If not, it will be different from the story that I experienced. So, for anyone, keep something you have. Don't lose focus to your have. Maybe that's the only experience I can tell. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Saifuddin Alamsyah. I want tell you about the most memorable moment. In Demak, annually is tradition grebek besar that conduct at Mount Dzulhijjah. Grebek besar become moment that waited by citizen Demak, especially for children and teenagers. Include when I still primary school and junior high school. I very enthusiastic welcome the coming grebek besar. Annually, I visit grebek besar together family or together my friends. Grebek besar at when I class 2 junior high school become grebek besar that must remember. When that night weak and condition after rain, I and my friend go into Grebek Besar money pick up. When in the ticket counter, actually price ticket a bit costlier from year previous. Some person there the spatter and there the resolute find side door. I and my friends follow find side door so that save money. Because some of road stagnant water, I and my friend run in curbside, avoid road that filling water. From direction that opposite, run group of teenager, so that I shift to curbside. But because not pay attention to curbside, suddenly, pure, my second legs has be on gutter. Feel like disgust and asthma. In near side door is toilet. I will pants therein. Actually, inside door is square and subject red like ticket counterman. Then initially intention cost efficient precisely lost many because red entrance toilet and also lost time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.